This had to be written last year, and the tour prior to that was conspiracy theory. So we put out some things in that tour that we thought might happen, and this tour is just a reminder that no matter what America goes through.
Both colors, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice, the idea that they're gonna. I'm proposing that everybody the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
That's part of what makes us great. It's not...
So it's very topical.
I try to be, if possible.
You write the whole thing out?
Mm-hmm.
It's no ad-libbing?
That's not true. I write it out, and then it's a constant race on the 100-city tour to get it as sharp as it can possibly be before we put it out to the masses.
Is the Trump administration easy fodder for comedians?
Not easier fodder. More, but not easier. As comedians, we like things to be on the fringes. And this is not a fringe conversation. This is a very mainstream conversation. And so it...
In other words, it's a parody of itself?
Indeed. Indeed.
So what do you parody when he's a parody?
There you go. And because he understands the rules of engagement, that's why he involved himself, and that's why he was sure he would win. If you build yourself on a philosophy that most people are stupid and then you win, it's not a lot of win in that.
In your act, do you run into many Trump supporters?
I don't feel a different way about a Trump supporter than I do a Clinton supporter. We're all Americans. There are justifiable reasons why people voted for the guy they voted for. And there are justifiable reasons for why they didn't vote the other way. And when we continue to not address what people's genuine concerns are because of how they look or what we have already preconceived about them, then we lose as a nation.
Do you sing in your act?
Never.
No. But you are a singer and a rapper too, right?
Well, you are the things you try. It's just what modicum of success you're having. But stand-up is the lifeblood, and so I don't mix anything with it.
Would you say it was unbelievable history the other night when a white man elected in Alabama on the Democratic ticket in his victory speech quoted Martin Luther King Jr.?
No. In order to be involved in the things these people are allegedly or actually involved in, it means you have to have a lot of cojones. You have to be willing to do things that most of us would go, you don't do that. And so because they lack that filter, it's not a big deal to ride in on a horse named Sassy as a pedophile.
But he lost.
Yes. Yes.
And the winner quoted Martin Luther King.
Yes, but understand, this is not a right side, wrong side situation. This guy being ridiculously wrong does not make the other guy more right.
So how did you look at the election?
Like a great American. We are America no matter who the president has been. Were there good things about the guy? Yeah. Reagan, Clinton, Bush, these were not bums. These guys tried as hard as they could, and each of them had a different plan and a way they were going to attack things. But we are not our country. Our country is us. So whoever the president is, that directly affects us, and yet it does not. We're a great country because of the people involved.
So we rise above it no matter who is president?
Naturally.
Except we're affected by who is president.
Absolutely. But we have to address why. And until we address why and keep trying to act like a portion of our rural population has a different thought process than the urban one, no, these are not the case. But they don't know that because they're never there in real life.
Has your comedy changed over the years?
Yes, sir. The worse my personal life is, the better my stand-up career is.
Because you've had some trouble in your personal life.
Well, you know, it's not all been pleasant, but the effect on my product has not been adverse. So I've
in other
learned
words,
as much
if
from
you've
the
had a
losses.
run-in with and were arrested or something,
Right.
and you're on stage the next night,
Yeah.
that makes the next night better?
No, it's that I'm an experimental person, and so a lot of times in order for me to present the case, I had to do a real-life experiment. My experiment found that wherever I was always the guilty party no matter what. And nothing happens to anybody. As soon as we remove me from the situation is better. And so that was something I was trying to present on behalf of Black people, and I got lost in my own experiment and fell victim to it. But these are the hassles.
Next, we're going to take a look at Katt Williams' incredible career, including how he got started in the comedy business. But what are we going to get from his new film, Father Figures? Stay with us on Larry King Now. Katt Williams, we're going to see him in Father Figures, due December 22nd. The Great American Tour is in progress. How many states are you going to?
We're at 100 already, so we'll be resetting soon.
Well, we only got 50 states. You're going to hit every state?
Well, you try to hit every state, all the major cities in the state.
Okay, you've had a successful career. Is stand-up, you've had a successful film career. Is stand-up still number one?
I believe stand-up will always be number one just because it cuts out the least amount of variables. It's really just the conversation between myself and the fan base with nothing in between. So I value that, but I am in love with television and film as well.
We will.
Katt Williams said something very, very profound, that no matter what America goes through, that is what makes us great. And in this period, especially in these election times where a lot of things are happening, you see both parties like making videos, like you see the video that you just watched about the Trump side also making a video of Biden fumbling. It's a process, and that is what makes America great, because they make the elections in such a way that it looks very, very transparent. Meaning, if this side fumbles, the other side fumbles, it is air out, so that we know that at the end of November, whoever wins as the president is somebody that Americans want, that America voted for, and also that America want the person to be the president leading the nation from 2024 up to 2028. So let's continue back with Katt Williams. Watch.
Funny kid?
Not that I remember. My father was hilarious. I had a funny family. I just loved funny. I didn't ever remember anybody saying that was a career choice for me or I had that potential.
You grew up in Cincinnati?
I was born in Cincinnati, but primarily raised in Dayton,
Ohio.
Ohio. Mm-hmm.
You remember your first stand-up?
Oh, yes, vividly.
Where was it?
It was in a place called Ruskin, Florida, and I was out with some friends who were older than me, and they decided they were going to a club afterwards. And I'm the youngest in the group. Everybody's of age, 21 or over, and I'm not. I'm 16. Nobody knows that. I'm already away from home. This is a big deal. We're in line, and I'm realizing I'm going to get here, not have the ID, and have to answer for this with my group. And then people are going past the line, and they're not standing in line. They're telling this guy, I'm a comedian, and they're getting right in. So I join that line to be told, okay, you're number 5. That doesn't mean anything to me. I get in the club, and I find out this is a comedy competition, and I am comedian number 5, and you have to do 5 minutes. And so I got up, and I just talked about being the only black guy in a white town and what that was like for 5 minutes. And I won, but I won $25. And I remember thinking, I was pretty good at that. Too bad it doesn't pay anything. And I didn't do it again for 6 years.
That's a great story. Your new film, Father Figures, is getting solid reviews. You play a hitchhiker?
Yes.
Is it a funny movie?
Hilarious. The cast is
You got
Ed Helms and Owen Wilson. Like, you don't need anything else for a comedy. That will get the job done. The fact that there's Glenn Close and J.K. Simmons and Christopher Walken and Ving Rhames and Terry Bradshaw is overkill.
Christopher Walken's enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you have fun doing that?
So much fun. A great set. Great director. Great script. It's rare when everything lines up.
First film in a while, right?
About 48 months.
Do you like playing someone else?
I appreciated the fact that I really had to be an actor on this. A lot of times as a stand-up comedian, the easiest thing to do is to bring that persona to a character, and yet on this one it was necessary to turn him all the way down to 0 and then maneuver. So it was really good to be able to act. Yeah, well done.
You've always played comedic roles. Would you want to try and tackle a serious role?
Yes, drama is always an important thing, but I'm a diehard comedy supporter. I take seriously the fact that comedy is the bastion of Hollywood, that if it were not for our genre, that it could not exist. It brings so much joy to the world. It is not to be viewed as a stepping stone. So I'd like to stay in comedy until I finally feel like I'm always doing a great job.
After the break, funny fan encounters, guilty pleasures, childhood celebrity crushes, all in a game of If You Only Knew with Katt Williams. Father Figures will be out December 22nd, and I'll be there that day to see it. Stay with us. Back with Katt Williams. The Great American Tour is in progress right now, and the film Father Figures, we saw that great clip, will be out December 22nd. We play a little game of If You Only Knew. You do not have to answer them, Katt.
Excellent.
It's not a court, but we'd appreciate your answers.
Excellent.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Kim Fields.
Secret talent?
Clairvoyant.
You're clairvoyant?
Yes, sir.
Psychic?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Person you'd trade places with for a day?
That I would trade places with for a day? No one.
No one. Weirdest job you ever had?
Doing missionary work in Haiti, I was able to go to villages and teach mothers that if they would put salt in their water, their children wouldn't die from diarrhea. And so I spent a year and a half in Haiti saving babies' lives.
Working for who?
Working for the good cause, Larry.
I mean, that was a job, though. Someone paid you?
No. This was a...
volunteer.
This was a volunteer for a nonprofit.
Guilty pleasure?
Silence and the love of a good woman.
Biggest risk you ever took?
Adopting children.
How many have you adopted?
6.
6. Best compliment you ever got?
You're good enough.
What never fails to make you laugh?
People smiling.
Worst piece of advice you ever got?
Don't ever change.
Something you wish you were better at?
Dealing with liars.
Best perk of being a celebrity? There's no perk to be. Come on, Katt. You get online to nightclub, you're going to perform, you're going to go in first.
Yeah, none of that's because of celebrity, as you know, Mr. King.
Who would you like to be stranded on a desert island with?
An excellent swimmer.
That's the best I've heard yet.
Thank you.
Strangest fan encounter.
I met a fan, and she explained to me very definitively that she was my biggest fan. And I explained to her that couldn't be the case. I've slept with most of my biggest fans. I tell her, she wouldn't, everything I said, she was like, no, it's really me. And then she reveals her leg, and she has a life-size, it's almost a tattoo of me that she has on her leg. And I then conceded that she was my biggest fan.
Did you take it any further?
No, out of respect for her and myself, I did.
Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Well, as one of the main opponents of the Illuminati, I always wanted to know what information they had that we didn't. And I found out, I was always wondering how our God could have been so thrown off by a story of a tree and fruit. And then I found out that that's not the case at all. Adam was God's son, which means Eve was his daughter. And if they have sex, that ruins everything. And that's what happened. And that's a piece right there.
Excellent observation.
Thank you.
Tell me something we don't know about you.
Secretly, I'm 6'1".
All right, where on the tour are you now?
Finishing, just officially wrapping up with the special, getting ready to go to the next tour, and then just filmed.
I'm gonna say what you wanna say about Katt, but he is a very good and kind individual. He's a very, very good and kind individual. He's somebody that adopt kids and take care of them, make a difference in people's life, and he's a clairvoyant. He's somebody that talk about the Trump 2020 elections, and a lot of things that he said they materialize. Right? They happen. So he is somebody that I think we don't get to play with him because he has a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, and he's gifted and very, very funny. He's a funny comedian. He fills his shows, he fills his comedy shows, and he he doesn't see himself as someone that is too great or too special. When you see yourself as someone that is too great or too special, then you stop growing. In order to continue growing or grow, you have to always see yourself as somebody that is not enough, that needs to improve, that wants to learn something new, that wants to improve on themselves. That wants to grow, that wants to improve on themselves, that wants to get better. Once you see yourself like that, then you won't improve. And Cat Williams is somebody that he's a pretty funny guy. He makes a lot of jokes. He makes people laugh, but he sees himself as someone that needs to grow, that needs to get better, that needs to improve. And it is it is the way that we all should see ourselves, because we have a lot to learn, a lot to grow, and a lot to improve from. And until we see ourselves that way, then we are limiting our improvement, and we're limiting our growth. And I like that because that is what Cat Williams sees himself as someone that needs to improve, someone that needs to grow, someone that needs to learn, someone that needs to get better, and someone that needs to be great. And life is all about the learning process where we always learn in life, we always grow in life, we always improve in life. So there is no time where there is no time where life is all about a process of growth. It's all about a process of improvement. It's all about a process of getting better, and we get better every day. You know, every day you make sure that you learn something new. Every day you make sure that you learn something new. Every day you make sure that you improve yourself, and every day you make sure that you get better as an individual and as a person, because that is what life is all about. You know, we are all advancing and improving, and we are in the growth stage of our life, or in the growth phase of our life, that we are slowly improving and getting better. So every day learn something new, every day improve yourself, and every day become a great person. You know, become who you've always destined to become, who you've always aspire and wish to become. Become that individual, become that person. It will be good for you. Thank you.